What's going on, party people? Brian Downard here, one of the partners at Prospecting On Demand, where over the past couple of years, I have personally overseen hundreds and hundreds of set sales calls, not only for our own company, but for our clients as well. So whether that is calling businesses who are B2B, businesses who are more B2C, these two questions that I have right here on my screen in front of me are really what you can use to leverage that you can set pretty much every single person that you speak with. Now, some people may be a bit more challenging to get through to, but it doesn't matter if they're a brand new inbound lead, if they're an old outbound lead, if you are cold calling someone. These two things will literally change the entire game for you and allow you to get someone to not only open up and share with you what's really going on, but get their buy-in to want to actually show up on that sales call. And for just a little more context, you actually know that I know what I'm talking about here. We've done more than $6.5 million in our company over the past couple of years. And we today, Monday, July 7th, 2025, have 15 sales calls on the board just today between two of our top closers. And we have more than 30 already scheduled for this week before Monday had even gotten started, right? And already today, I can go back and check in the Slack channel. I think the team got a couple more on the board, but now they're going to go fill out the rest of those slots available for the rest of the week. But why I'm sharing this is just from your POV, like how would your business and life potentially change if you had 15 sales calls in one day? If you had 30 plus sales calls booked for a week before the week even started, you'd probably be in a little bit different of a position than you are right now, right? So what I want to share with you is the exact two kind of frames and questions that I help our team go through. And here, this is all part of an outbound setting framework that we have, where we have the introduction here. We have the qualification on the right, it's tying down and setting the call here, any objection handling here, but then in the middle lives this really nice little box, because these are the two questions that, regardless of if someone is like, hey, I don't remember doing that. Hey, I'm not interested. Hey, how did you get my information? Or any of these, rebuttals or things that they might come back and kind of give you pushback, give you an objection, because let's be real, everything in their bones is getting them to push you off that call. They are wanting to stay in their comfort zone. They're wanting to blame outside circumstances. They're going to want to wait for the perfect time. And they're not going to want to really open up that much to a stranger who's just randomly calling them during their day. So with that being said, let's break down these two questions. And before we do that, I just want you to have this understanding that the biggest reason that people will get on a sales call with you is because they have some pain that they are going through, or they're trying to avoid future pain. Now, the perception of gain is a pretty strong motivator, but what's even better is if you can get someone to really share with you what the thing is that they are currently struggling with, so that you can then, what we call, sell the sales call. When you are either in a setting position, like you're the setter yourself, or you're setting your own sales calls and you're the entrepreneur, you're the solopreneur, kind of taking sales calls, setting sales calls, it's very easy for us to fall into this trap of trying to sell the product, sell what we do, talk about all of those things when you're trying to set a sales call. But what instead that usually does is just give people more ammo to give you objections, or to not show up, or to give them answers to questions that you or think you are answering how they want to hear, versus finding what's important to them. So your role in this position is to actually sell the sales call and not sell the product. Once you're on the sales call, then you can make an offer, then you can handle objections around that. This is different. You need to sell someone on giving you something even more valuable, their time. And once they've committed to giving you their time, got to make sure they show up. But these are the first steps. So this is going to be, the second question is going to be more of a catch-all if you are doing cold outbound. This could still work for warm inbound, the second question, but the first question is really going to be the key if you're doing any type of inbound lead gen. You have people coming through ads, content, organic. This is my catch-all question when someone is giving me pushback, and it's really simple, right? Basically, the frame goes like, hey, so I guess what I'm curious is, what were you hoping this would solve for you when you opted in? And this works really well when someone's like, hey, I don't remember doing that, or I didn't watch the video yet, or could you just send me an email? And it allows you to just put the brakes on that and say, hey, yeah, it totally makes sense. So I opt into a bunch of things. I don't always watch it either, but I guess I'm less interested in the fact that you didn't watch the video or you don't remember doing that, and more interested in the fact that, obviously something about this spoke to something you're kind of going through. So I guess I'm curious, like, what were you maybe hoping that this would solve for you when you opted in? And you were getting them to open up, share with you some specific pain point, because that is the thing that you're going to latch onto. You're going to jump onto that pain point and go, perfect. That's exactly what we help people do. What would really be most helpful for you, in my opinion, is let's schedule a 10, 15-minute call a little bit later. If you've got time today or tomorrow, I can talk you through, or XYZ person on our team can talk you through what some of your options might look like for solving this. That way you have that in your back pocket when you're ready to make a decision and take action on this. Would you be opposed to that? So we're looking to find the pain, and this question will allow them to open up and be more willing to share that with you, and then you can latch onto that. Now, if they hesitate and they're not sure, because that happens, right? They might go, well, I don't really know. I just opt into random things on the internet. So this would be the next part where you need to do a little bit of inception here, where you seed plant the things that you typically help people with to get them to be like, oh yeah, that is something I need help with. So in this example, be like, hey, so a lot of times our clients are coming to us because they're wanting to get more clients. They need help maybe closing more deals. They're looking to get better clients. Do any of those feel like they could maybe be true for you as well? And now I am putting those ideas in their head of what we already do, and very likely what they have a pain point around. I'm just making it easier for them to select from that instead of having it be open-ended, right? Sometimes when we give open-ended questions, especially when you're setting or you're talking to a stranger, it's a little harder for them to answer. It's much easier when you can give them binary decisions. And so in this case, giving them that list is super helpful. Now, let's say hypothetically, they are just pushing this out, right? They still don't know, like, oh, I don't really know. Like, we were just looking around, just kind of tire kicking. They're not going to say tire kicking, but that's what they're doing. So this is now my next catch-all question. I guess, like, if I could ask, are you okay if I just, like, one more thing before we jump off this call? What would maybe be one thing you'd want to see differently or potentially change about how you are currently getting clients? And again, this needs to be a question around the thing that you sell. What would they be wanting to change, right? So if I use a totally different example like health and fitness, be like, hey, I guess, like, since you were just kind of like looking around, what were you like maybe wanting to see that one major thing change for yourself? Is it more of like your fitness programming? Is it more of your diet? And this is, again, a really powerful way to get them to volunteer the thing that they are struggling with. Now, in our case, we, again, use this little bit of a inception and seed planting, where now we talk more instead of about the outcomes they want, the pain that they are currently in. And this actually is relevant to our ads as well, because, again, this whole script is for our setting team. And so in our ads, we very often talk about, hey, are you doing strategies that take too long or too complicated, or you're just relying on word of mouth to grow? And again, it is anchoring back to the original point of opt-in, the original point of contact by which they raised their hand and showed some level of interest that they wanted to have this conversation. Now, again, if you are cold calling, if you're doing cold outbound or warm calling, which is where you call someone who you've already established a touch point with, say social, DM, or email, but they haven't responded yet, and they're kind of giving you pushback, hey, we don't want to do anything right now, we're good, send me an email, any of those variations. This is, again, where you dig in a little bit and where you go, hey, I guess, like, what would be one thing about what you would change about how you are currently getting more jobs for your painting business? And now they're going to open up. And this is so funny because I did this on a live setting call with our clients last week, and this painter was really closed off, right? He's like, I've been in business 35 years. I don't need help getting jobs. I don't pay for leads. And then I just asked him this question, like, well, I guess what were you looking for help with since you did opt in? Immediately, well, our website's kind of old. I'd like to get better quality jobs. And then he just opened up, because when you can do this and ask from a place of genuine interest with empathy, concern, and interest in your tonality, and even some little bit of confusion, it's going to let them open up, because they hear in their tonality, your tonality, how that shifted, and it changes their demeanor and changes the frame on the call. So again, if this is in more of a cold situation, it works really well just to, and I did this with an IVF clinic last week where she gave me all the objections. How did you get my contact? We're not taking on any vendors right now. Just send me an email. I still set the call because I just got her to open up about what she would maybe want to see different about how her clinics are getting patients. And she had shared with me, most of it is through word of mouth or referrals. They don't really do any of their own marketing. And so that was what I latched onto. And I just now sell, giving her more of her time later to help her solve the thing that she's struggling with. Hey, so, if we could show you really confidently how to solve XYZ problems so you can kind of have this in your back pocket when you're ready to move forward, would you be opposed to like a short 15-minute conversation later this week? Set the call. So these two frames will pretty much guarantee you can set almost every single person you speak with. Now, I know that's not always going to be true. There will always be exceptions to that rule, but this will arm you if you're in this position with the understanding of you're there to sell the sales call, you're there to uncover pain and consequences, and then sell them on giving us more of their time for that sales call to potentially get this solved. Now, I'll give you one kind of little last hack here. I call it the best case, worst case close. And we do this in sales very often where it's like, hey, best case scenario, you do this, you get to XYZ outcome. Worst case scenario, you get all the insight and clarity to do it at your own time frame. In this scenario, though, when we're in a setting position, I use it like this: 3, 2, 1. Hey, so honestly, like best case scenario, you show up on this call, we have exactly what you need, and we can help you solve that problem once and for all. Worst case scenario, you can jump on this call. At least you'll have the clarity so that you can implement this in-house or have this in your back pocket when you're ready to make a decision. Again, I've gone through that frame a few times, but it's so helpful to lower the guard, to reduce this feeling of urgency that you may be having for them because you want to make a commission, you want to get them help, right? And so if we can just remove that fear of them, of you being pushy and trying to get them to do it, chances of them getting set and setting themselves are a lot higher. So hopefully this video has been helpful to you. If you're enjoying this, hit that like button, drop a comment below. If you want my actual full objection handling map, you can comment map below and I'll send you over a link. It's always being added to and growing, but we have pretty much every main objection you would get, how to handle it, logistical objections, fear-based objections, how to wrap up the call, and even the sales process itself. So just comment map below if you want to check this out. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Appreciate your time so much and I'll see you there. Cheers.